Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Nguyen and I'm an undergraduate student at Cal State University Fullerton. I'm working towards my bachelor's degree in mathematics and my teaching credential in the future. This is my website powered by Weebly, and it talks about the introduction to basic concepts of probability. And the grade level is 11th to 12th grade, and this is typically within the Algebra 2 courses in high school. The reason I chose probability as my unit topic is because I struggled with this back in grade school and currently in higher education math courses as well. So building the site around probability helps me review and strengthen my knowledge on it. What you will find in this site is listed here in bullet form. And below is the information about the unit. And I listed the Common Core State Standards, the Content Area Standards, and the ELD standards that pertain to this unit. Right below is the About Your Teacher section, and this is an introduction video of my thoughts on online learning and the ISTE standards. So if you would like to check that out, please take a look at the video. And below is my contact information via email or through this site. The next page that we will look at is what is math? And here I listed the definition of math according to Merriam-Webster. And below this I also included my favorite story of mathematician Eratosthenes and his discovery of the circumference formula. Now I included this because teachers often do not include the historical aspects or the origin to what they are teaching in class that relates to their topic. So this website allows me to share some of that with my students outside the classroom. Now the next page we'll visit is useful links and resources. And this contains links for math-related resources, college-related, and adolescent health and safety. I would say the most significant resources would be under adolescent health and safety, which is this entire column here, because it contains lots of information, including sexual health, mental health, learning disorders, cyberbullying, and programs to help low-income families. So I highly encourage both parents and students to check out these resources. Next, we have interactives. And these digital tools can help support students in learning math. And one of my favorite ones to use is Quizlet. So let's just take a quick look at it. With Quizlet, you can create your own flashcards to help study vocabulary terms and concepts. Let's take a look at this one, for example, basic probability review. So basically you have the definitions here and vocabulary words here. And you have the options on how you want to study these words. For example, you can do a matching game, just like this. And I won't do the matching game because we are limited on time. The next section that we have is on internet safety. We live in a technologically advanced time, so the majority of students will have access to the internet through multiple digital devices, such as a computer, smartphone, tablet, and so forth. So it is important to learn and teach our students how to protect themselves and their confidential information. If you scroll down below, I have provided videos at the bottom of this page that discuss about internet safety and cyberbullying. The next page that we will look at is the Webercise. Now, a Webercise is an exercise activity, basically, but requires students to use internet browsing in order to retrieve information for the included worksheet here. So right here, there is a PDF file to the Webercise, and I'm just going to quickly download that and show you. Okay, so this is my Webercise. And it was designed to introduce students to probability through various activities such as watching videos, looking up definitions of vocabulary terms, quiz assessment, and what you see here, interactive activities like spinning a colored wheel to generate their own class data and playing Jeopardy to review what they have learned. So for example, the experimental probability spinner. So what you would do is you have to run 10 trials. So you would spin this 10 times and so forth. And all the generated data will be here for the students. And the worksheet that I mentioned earlier is right below the web exercise instructions. And to answer all of these, they have to do the instructions above. The next thing that we will take a look at are the assessments. And there are two types of assessments. The first one is entry level, which focuses on activating students' prior knowledge on the basic concepts of probability. For this, I used Quizlet. And here, these were the same vocabulary review that I showed you earlier. And for the assessment, I used the test option. So students are to answer the written questions, the matching questions, multiple choice, and true false. So let's say I type in some answers because I want to show you how this works. So once you finish taking the test, the grade will show here. And below this is a print test option, which I require students to do, to print this and submit it to me as for their grade. Now, the second assessment is the summative, which allows students to individually reflect on the projects that they will complete. And this is the project here that I designed. And it was inspired by what this teacher used here in his blog. So this project is a class project, and it's based off of the game show Deal or No Deal. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. But I think this game show is a great way to help students learn about probability, where they can calculate probabilities, learning when to take risks, basically whether it's a good deal or not a good deal to take whatever the banker offers. So this was really fun to create. And once we finish the class project, I require students to do their summative assessment by using Blogger. If you click on this link here, basically I want them to write about their experiences on how probability affected their decision making and so forth. And they will answer by posting a comment here, logged into their Google account. The next page is the choice board. And this is actually something new that I've never learned about before. So this was really fun to create because the choice board gives students the option to learn content independently at their own pace, or they can choose to collaborate with other students depending on the activity. So here is a downloadable PDF file of the choice board. And the one I created is specifically for probability. So if you take a look here, this is what my choice board looks like. And I've created categories of different activities that students can try. But as long as they meet the requirements, which is choosing only 3 activities that total up to 11 points for credit. And there are really cool interactive activities that require students to use Padlet, for example, to create a Freyr model and creating timelines for contributions of mathematicians in probability, which is this activity here. In the next section is the teacher lectures, where it will contain lessons on the different topics of probability. And for this one specifically, the first lesson will be on conditional probability. The PowerPoint presentation took the most time and effort out of all the other resources that I had to create, but it was still fun to make, especially designing the guided notes that came along with the lecture presentation. So if you scroll below, This is the embedded version of my PowerPoint, and I'm just gonna quickly scroll through to see, or to let you see what it looks like. And what I like about this is every time I want students to answer questions that promote their critical thinking, there are these cues with the light bulbs. As for reviewing vocabulary and key concepts, I have this like checklist type of paper, also serves as a visual cue, and this has lots of diagrams and charts, example problems for students to work on, and also the Now You Try sections, which lets students do the examples on their own, and so forth. I also want to quickly show you the guided notes that follows the PowerPoint presentation. Let me just download that and open this. Okay, so these guided notes were one of my favorite activities to design because I only needed to include important concepts or information that students needed to know based on the Common Core standards. So if you look here, this directly follows the PowerPoint presentation with the reviews and the main topic of conditional probability, and also the visual cues. Like I said earlier, the light bulb indicates critical thinking questions that students have to answer here. And there are lots of fill in the blanks to keep students actively listening to the lectures and keep them engaged. And key concepts have the checklist icon, and also they are boxed in, so students will be able to find the important information about the key concepts right away. I'll just quickly scroll through so you can see that it directly follows, and there are lots of empty white boxes where students can show their work for the Now You Try sections, and more questions that they have to answer, as you can see. And that is it for my showcase presentation. Thank you for watching.